Who is listening to you right now? Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally listening. And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, that discomfort is exactly where this story begins. I'm Dr. Aiken, and this is Dr. Aiken Archives, a channel dedicated to uncovering the hidden systems, forgotten agreements, and silent forces that shape our modern world. If you value documented history, declassified evidence, and stories that governments rarely explain plainly, consider subscribing. What you're about to hear is not speculation. It's a trail of paper, cables, and secrets. Tonight, we're stepping into a system so vast it operates beneath daily life without most people ever noticing. A global surveillance network, formed in secrecy, expanded in silence, and normalized without a single public vote. It's known as the Five Eyes, and once you see it clearly, it's impossible to unsee. This is where our story truly begins, during the chaos of the Second World War. In the early 1940s, British and American intelligence officers were locked in a desperate race against time, intercepting Nazi communications and breaking encrypted messages. At places like Bletchley Park, secrecy was survival. According to wartime intelligence reports and later declassified memoranda, cooperation between allies proved more effective than isolation. When the war ended, the fear did not. A new enemy emerged, ideological, invisible, and global. In 1946, a classified document was signed, the Yakuza Agreement. It never appeared on a ballot. It was never debated in public. Its text, later revealed through declassification efforts, outlined a permanent intelligence sharing arrangement between the United States and the United Kingdom. Canada, Australia, and New Zealand soon followed. What began as wartime necessity quietly hardened into peacetime infrastructure. Government chronicles from the late 1940s describe a world divided by suspicion. Signals intelligence, SIGINT, became the currency of security. Listening posts were built. Antennas rose from deserts and coastlines. Undersea cables, documented in naval engineering reports, became arteries of information. And the Five Eyes watched them all. For decades, this alliance remained officially unacknowledged. Historians relied on fragments, parliamentary records that hinted at special relationships, defense white papers that spoke vaguely of foreign partners, and memoirs from retired intelligence officials who never fully said the name. One former analyst wrote in a private letter, later archived, that the alliance was so embedded it no longer required explanation. This is where the past meets the present. Because the Five Eyes didn't fade with the Cold War, they evolved. By the late 20th century, the internet transformed communication, and surveillance with it. Intelligence manuals and internal reports describe a shift from targeted interception to bulk collection. Entire streams of data were captured first, analyzed later. Emails, phone metadata, browsing histories. And because each Five Eyes nation had different domestic laws, a loophole emerged. One country could collect what another was legally restricted from gathering, and then share it. This system remained largely theoretical to the public until 2013. That year, classified documents leaked by Edward Snowden confirmed what privacy advocates had long suspected. Programs outlined in internal slides, later authenticated by journalists, showed mass surveillance operating at a global scale. According to these documents, agencies like the National Security Agency and Britain's GCHQ were not merely defending borders, they were mapping behavior. I want to slow this moment down. because history books will likely mark 2013 as a turning point. Not because surveillance began then, but because it became undeniable. Official government responses followed. Reports were published, oversight committees convened, some reforms were promised. Yet intelligence assessments from the following years show the core structure remained intact. The Five Eyes continued operating, more legally refined perhaps, but no less powerful. Artificial intelligence processes data faster than any human team ever could. Contemporary policy papers openly discuss predictive intelligence and behavioral pattern analysis. The language is clean, clinical, but the implications are profound. Supporters argue this system prevents attacks, disrupts espionage, and saves lives. Critics, citing constitutional analyses and human rights reports, warn that constant observation alters society itself. When people believe they are always being watched, freedom becomes performative. Speech narrows, dissent softens. History offers warnings here, found in diaries from surveillance states, in letters smuggled across borders, in the quiet fear recorded between the lines. And this is the question we must sit with. Not whether surveillance exists, it does. Not whether it can be useful, it can. But whether a system of this magnitude can operate indefinitely without consent, transparency, or genuine public control. I'm Dr. Aiken, and as the lights fade around me, this is what the records show. The Five Eyes were never meant to be temporary. They were designed to endure. The real legacy of this pact is not just what it sees, but how little it needs to explain itself. In the end, the most powerful surveillance system in human history doesn't announce its presence. It simply listens.